New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. Visit ryanfamily.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.
Welcome to New England Candlepins in our winter series. I'm Jay Horrigan, filling in for normal host Matt Ferrara. Thank you, Matt, for letting me do this winter. We're here with our first two competitors. We've got Dan Gauthier and Jason Doucette. First, Dan, good to have you back on the show. How have you been?
Good. It's always good to be back on the show.
You bowling well?
The last 2 days, yes, and that's all that really matters, right?
Absolutely. Do me a favor, turn around. That's how we'll be able to identify Dan in today's show. Dan, thanks for talking to us. We'll be back in just a moment. Jason, I know you're bowling well.
Yeah, all right.
All right, we did, before we came on camera, we had a little bit of issues between the two of you. It seemed like Dan might be a little nervous, you thought?
Yeah, he's very nervous, but he should be.
He should be. He should be. So we've already got this going. This is a great way to start the winter series off. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know it's going to be exciting. So we'll be back with the first match in just a moment. Matt, roll those brackets. Welcome back to New England Candlepins. We're getting ready for our first match. Up first is Dan Gauthier against Jason Doucette. Dan will be our first bowler. Jason is stealing bowling balls right now. So we have a crime on the set. And as always, I am joined here by two tremendous professional bowlers, Dave Chestercove.
And there goes Dan.
And Dan starts right up, so not sure who the third man in the booth is.
I'm not sure who he is either, Jay Horrigan.
Oh, that's Richie Myrick. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us today.
It's nice to be joined.
Indeed. Well, Danny, after two balls, it leaves just a head pin. Looking to clean up for $10. And there it goes.
Shu's no stranger to the show. I mean, everybody knows Shu, doesn't? Do you? Jay, you know Shu, don't you?
Absolutely.
DC?
Absolutely.
All right. Dan Gothia from Academy, averaging 115. He's got a high single of 192. His high triples 464. Off to a rousing start. I mean me, not Shu.
Shu leaves 4. Looking to clean this up for another $10. Oh, what a pretty 10 from Dan Gauthier.
Solid 10.
Jason Doucette up next.
Oh, what a great ball from Jason Doucette. Jason, a regular on our show.
He's got parallel pins to the right. Piece of wood on the left-hand side of the 5-pin. Probably going to try to sweep it, I would think, on this shot.
I imagine also. Oh, gets everything but the 6-pin. Jason bowls out of Academy lanes. That's way up in Haverhill, Massachusetts. averages 120. Has a high single of 189 and a high triple of 475. And Jason also opens his string with the 10 bucks. Jason high flush in the 1-3 pocket. Drops 6, leaves the 2, 4, 6, 7. Piece of wood in the middle, way in the back. Not really going to come into play. Tries to cut the 2 over. Unsuccessful.
Just missed it.
And a 9 bucks.
Now Dan Gauthier will bowl here in his 3rd frame.
Good job, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the ones after 3 we have to worry about.
I was able to count to 3. Thank you.
Spread eagle for Gothia.
Takes out the 10 pin. Leaves 5. Tough to convert this to a 10 box to keep your streak going.
Yeah, you're happy with an 8 in this situation, DC.
Absolutely. Oh, you got a bonus.
Got to love a 9.
Dan leaves the Caleri right. He did slide the 3-pin off the spot. He does also have, it's not a real grammar, he does have 2 pieces of wood to play with.
That second piece could help.
Oh!
Just the head pin standing for Shu.
Indeed.
Solid 10. Hitting's the name of the game early on in this 1-string format.
Absolutely.
39
Every
for a
pin is
shoe.
important.
Now Jason Doucette sitting on 19 through 2.
Jason just off to the left of the head pin. Gets 3. Gets 1 more.
4 left. Can we go golfing? Is it too early to go golfing? Terrific out of Doucette.
Absolutely.
Now double guns on lane 2. On the left again, he leaves another Caleri. Popular leave early on. Piece of wood in front of the 8-pin that can't hurt him in this situation, just trying to make the 4 horsemen.
Tries it outside. Gets everything but the 3-6.
So both bowlers will be open through the first 4 frames each.
But so far, excellent pinning.
Through 4, we've got a one pin match. 39 for Shu, 38 for Doucette. Someone's bound to crack the ice.
Dan with a great ball in the 1-3 pocket. Drops 6, leaves the bucket left. 2, 4, 5, 8.
Gotta be careful when you say bucket, DC.
I know it. I was trying to think of something else, but oh yeah, the diamond. That's what it's called. And there it goes.
Close it up.
There's our first mark of this match.
And a spare for Dan.
Dynamite drop in, Jay.
Thank you.
Couldn't think of the right words there. Shoe. Wow. Oh my goodness. Shoe couldn't believe it either.
Shu with the perplexed look on his face. He takes out the 4 horsemen on the left. He's got the bucket. Got to be careful with that one, DC. And he's got the 8 and the 10 pin. Not a piece of wood to speak of on that.
Makes a great effort at it. Just leaves the 5-8.
Pins at a premium right now.
Absolutely. Ooh, I bet he wants that ball back. But just an 8.
Settle.
Dan, go ahead. I don't know what Dan has 61 through 6.
Emmy award-winning stuff, folks.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a little unfortunate.
Hey, gentlemen. No, I may not hit. Is this the 710?
You got that right.
Wow.
You got a little unlucky break when the 5-pin fell into the 2-pin.
Absolutely.
Really hurt. Oh! Tried to get that wood to come off the wall there.
That's
almost cut successful.
It's one of those situations where you don't want the extra pin to fall in this game, you know?
Right.
Would have been nice if the 2-pin stood up for him. He would have had a decent chance at it. Just going to have to settle for 9, though. I am proud of you, Jay, though.
Thank you. Thank you. It's what you guys have taught me.
I think you've done a little research on your own because we're not teaching you very much. There's not a lot going on back here.
There's not a lot going on over here.
Jason with a great ball. Tricky leave here. He drops 7. He leaves the 5, 7, 8.
Depending where that piece of wood decides to settle down depends on where he decides to play the shot, I think. Do you sweep it or do you try to play the 5-pin? He's going to give it a second look.
Yeah.
I don't blame him on that. Where are you going, DC?
I would probably try to sweep it. But that's me.
That's where he's going. Nice shot.
And there it goes.
And a clutch mark for Doucette.
Doucette down 6, but he is on a mark. Oh, I'm sorry, down 4. I forgot Dan was opposite an 8 box.
Four boxes to go. Gauthier really needs one to go. Or to get going, I should say. This is going to be a tough one. Got the 1, 2, 6, 9, and 10. 2 pieces of wood. One to the left that really isn't in play. One to the in the backside to the right on the 9-pin. Could help in the long run.
Oh.
That's about all he got.
Oh, just a 7. Dan looking to set himself up going to the final 2 frames. Love a mark here.
In a 2-box format, we tend to agree, I think, that the 8th box is probably the most important in a close match.
Agreed. Shu has a decent lead.
Good
the
chance
1,
at it,
3,
yes.
10. Oh, and he runs it right down.
Right up the line.
Great shot from Dan.
1, 3, 10, right in a row.
So Jason currently down 4, but he is on a mark.
Big ball here.
A little wayward, but you got a good break. Drop 7, leaves the 1, 3, 7. Piece of wood creeping towards the 7-pin, and it does freeze. Not quite sure if that'll help or hurt. And he cuts it.
Wow, jumps right over it.
Thought he had it.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan's right in front of it. Or over it.
I think you're right, DC. I think he's in front of it.
That is, that ball hit the wood in the gutter first, folks, so that's just a 9.
Yep, just a 9 box. But that'll give Guns a 5-pin lead through completed boxes. However, he is up against a shoe mark.
That's right. That big mark in that 8th box. Jason with a great ball again. Gets a little unlucky. Leaves just a 5-10. Good news is there's a piece of wood behind the 5-pin. I believe it's frozen. That should help jump the 5-pin towards the 10 if he's anywhere left of it. Yeah, he's on the wrong side. Oh, almost gets it to come off the left wall.
That thing took the scenic route and almost took the 10 anyhow.
You ain't kidding. All important 10 box, and he drills it. So Jason will remain his 5-pin lead, depending on what shoe does in this mark. Shoe, great ball into the 1-2 pocket, drops 7. Leaves the 3-7-10 up. A good amount of wood out there. Everything, I think it'll help him more than it'll hurt him. But he's got to be on that 3-pin.
That second piece behind on the 3-pin kind of helps. It's going to force that other piece of wood over toward the 7-pin. So all he's got to do is hit the 3 right in the face, I think.
And he does, and there it goes.
Great spare. Timely.
Clutch spare.
So that'll give Dan a 2-pin lead. Plus his spare here. Dan, great ball in the 1-3 pocket, a little high, but he drops 8, leaves the makeable spare, the 2-4. And a little left. A lot of big stick here.
Sure is, DC, without a doubt.
No matter what, he's going to force Jason to throw a mark, but it's going to be 1 mark or 2 marks.
This pin will decide it.
Well,
that leaves the door open for
Yep.
1 mark, because that's 112 for Dan Gauthier, and Jason Doucette is at 83. He needs 39 pins any way he can get them.
yep.
There are a
39
lot of
to
ways
tie,
to do
40
it.
to win, right? Yeah, so he almost needs 2 marks. Jason, good ball. Light in the 1-2 pocket. Caused the head pin to jump over the cluster to the right. But makeable spare. Oh, and he drills it.
What a big time mark. Making the cluster in the 9th box when he knows he needs it. Gives him 93. A 9 drop gives him an opportunity for a 10 for a tie, but any kind of mark gives him an opportunity for a win.
That's right. Looks good. Looks good.
There's the 9
Great
drop.
ball. 9 drop. Got that big 9 drop, so
Gives him 102. Again, Gauthier with 112.
makes the pin. He'll probably win the match.
This is essentially
If he
to
misses
win.
it, then he might tie.
And he makes it.
Oh, he makes it look easy.
Right in the face.
Jason has a little housekeeping to do, clearing the wood in the gutter. There it goes. So as long as the ball stays on the lane, Jason Doucette will win the match. And there it is. Throws down 6 for a 118 to a 112. Jason will move on to face the winner of our next match.
Great
in the
job by
Elite
both
Eight.
bowlers.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to talk to our bowlers right after this.
What is community without community support? Without community access? Without communication that creates a common bond? You can make community by making community TV. Contact your public access community TV center. Learn how you can help, because you can. Volunteer today. When you support your community TV, you also support your community.
We're back here with our bowlers. First of all, Dan, good match. You had a couple of marks there at the end to get on a little bit of roll, and then Jason was able to match those marks.
Yeah, that's the thing when you bowl him. You know that he can throw 40 in 2 boxes so quick that I had a feeling when I missed the easy one in the 10th. You don't want to leave the door open at all because it's easy for him to throw 2 marks. Not easy, but he can do it. And he did. That's the difference. He made a shot on the end, and I give him all the credit in the world. He bowled great at the end. I think we both would like the first 6 boxes over again.
Absolutely. But those pins add up that you guys were knocking down in the first 6 box. They add up, and it forced him to mark in both the 9th and then that 10 drop or the 9 drop on his first ball and the 10th. That was the big difference.
Yeah, it was the big one. It made him, he would have had to miss that pin twice on the end, and he's probably not going to do that. And that's where you look back, I look back at my own last ball, even though I missed it for a spare, if you make it for a 10, then he has to make it for, a 10 to tie. And it's, those little, in a 1-string match, 1 pin makes a difference. It's all,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, great job. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
$75. Great effort.
And congratulations, Jay.
Hey, good job, Mr. Doucette.
Thank you.
You bowled very well, especially at the end when the pressure was on. You came up with some clutch shots.
Yeah, Dan also came up with some big shots at the end to force me to mark. I mean, he did leave the door open in the last box, and thank God I was able to take advantage and make the marks and come out with a win.
Well, it was well done. You get to move on. You move on to our Elite 8, so great job.
Thank you.
Well done. We'll be back with our second match in just a moment. Welcome back. We're here with our bowlers for our second match today. First, a returning bowler, Rob Pigeon. We haven't seen you in a while, Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How you bowling?
Average.
Average. Well, average enough to be on the show.
Yeah. Hey, I took a chance and I made it. So I guess it just goes to show you that you can just go out there and bowl and you just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. You qualified in the top 16. You're here on the show and you never know what happens. So you've been bowling average enough to be able to qualify.
Yes.
All right. And you're going to be taking on first-time participant on our show, Jeff Charlton, correct?
That's right.
And Jeff, you are from Sanford, Maine.
Correct.
All right. And you were just telling me it was a 2-hour drive to come down here?
A little over a 2 hour.
That's awesome. How'd you find out about the show?
Will Haskell?
Awesome. Now, have you been on other TV shows?
No, I haven't.
So this the first one. All right. And you get to take on the master, Rob Pigeon.
New experience. See how it goes.
It will be a new experience with Rob. Well, hey, we're going to get going on this match. This should be a fun one, and we'll be back with it in just a moment. Welcome back. We're ready for our second match between Rob Pigeon and Jeff Charlton. Up first is the legendary Rob Pigeon.
He's named after a bird.
He was. Or maybe the bird was named after Rob.
Oh, I don't know. That's insinuating that he's quite old. Pigeons have been around for quite some time, Jay Horgan.
Maybe it's just a family name.
Oh. Well, I hadn't really thought of that. Drop 7.
That makes sense. Rob wasted no time to get a mark amongst our conversation.
You could say he's off to a flying start.
You could say that.
I mean, I wouldn't, but you could.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Halfway to Worcester.
Indeed. Well, Rob used to bowl out of Fico's until it closed last couple of years ago. Now he bowls right here out of Millis. Ryan's in Millis. Averages 112 here with a high single of 171 and a high triple at 435. And Robbie with an $8. Robbie wasted no time at all in those 2 boxes. Gets a halfway decent 20. It's like 2 10 boxes. Still a good start.
Brings us to Jeff Charlton, first-time performer on our show. Comes all the way from Sanford, Maine. Buries
that's
the
a height.
1-3. Leaves the 8, 9, 10. 2 pieces of wood. Should be favorable.
He'll be a first main bowler, I believe. And he opens with a spear.
Got the piece of wood to duck back off the wall. Clips the 8-pin on the way back by for a nice opening spare for Jeff Charlton. Out of Bolorama in Sanford. His average is 110. His high single is listed at 209. High triple is a 406.
I get this. Jeff leaves the 710
Whoa!
with a piece of wood. Not going to really be helpful,
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
it might be. No,
but he
it
clears
wasn't.
it out of the way just to make sure.
Jay Horrigan.
I'm going to head home now, gentlemen.
Hey, you want to call those last one?
Oof.
Finds the curtain for an $8.
And Jay had nothing. Jay had nothing on that.
I'll remember that. I'm going to write that down. Finds the curtain. Finds curtain.
Robbie with a great ball, crushes 8, leaves the 4-7 with a beautiful piece of wood.
And eventually finds the curtain.
And makes it disappear.
Yeah, those 2 pins found the curtain. Nice mark for Rob.
So a bit of a flurry for these 2 bowlers so far. Through 5 boxes, 3 marks. Oh, and another half was.
I think he's all the way to Worcester now. 2 halves make a whole. Is that right, Jay Horrigan?
It does, based on the 1 semester I spent as a math major.
Robbie looking to convert. Makes a good effort. There's 3 left.
The last time Rob was on our show may have been the first show we did.
It's been a while, and Robbie keeping pattern. Spare 2 fill 8 box. Has 40 through 4. Still good pinning overall.
A lot of ways to get to 100, Dave.
Absolutely.
Off to the right for Jeff. Rips out the triangle.
Oh, looking to convert. Everything but the 7-pin. It looked like it was going to go for a minute there.
He
but,
did hit it well.
Something held up the wood. And converts for 10 bucks.
So that'll give him a 4-pin lead. He's opposite an 8. Off to the right. Got the 4 horsemen on the left side and the 6 and 10. Not a piece of wood to be spoken of. One of those battle boxes. Happy with a 10 out of this. Takes 4. And just 8, so he matches the 8 that was posted there by Rob. So it'll still be a 4-pin match.
Robbie looking to continue his good fortune on lane 1. Misses the headpin, but he gets 7. Leaves the 3 horsemen left. The 1, 2, 4. No wood. Everything but the headpin. This sure is a fast-paced match, folks. We are cruising through this.
Oh, I love it. You want to talk about pace of play in baseball? Never mind that. Candlepin bowling, it's sometimes an issue too, and I'm not even joking when I say that.
I agree.
I mean, I like to take my time, but man, some people, you can use a shot clock.
And there's a big strike
Good
for
thing there
Robbie
wasn't a
Pigeon.
shot clock on that. It took that wood a couple seconds to roll over and take out the 4 and the 7, but that's a strike nonetheless for Rob Pigeon.
That's a big mark for Robbie.
Sure is.
Keep the
Sitting on a
pressure
hammer in
on.
the 6th.
Does it get in a bowler's head when they're having challenges on one of the 2 lanes in a show like this? Up until then, he had a problem on the second lane.
I think you're so
Yeah.
focused that you don't even really worry about
Yeah,
that.
I think the
That's
good
something you
bowlers
look at afterward.
won't even notice the difference because it goes by so fast.
and especially someone like Rob who bowls so quickly.
Yeah, that's something you may take notice of afterward, but certainly not in the moment. At least not from my perspective.
Right.
Off to the right for Charlton. Takes out the triangle again. He almost made it last time, just kept the 7 standing. Really a big time for a mark in a 2-pin match, opposite the strike. Tough
Just
7.
a 7.
So that'll swing the match in Rob Pigeon's favor by 1 pin, I believe, DC?
Yep, 1 pin, but Rob Pigeon is on a strike. So his lead will increase. Looking for a double. Oh, little light on the 1-3 pocket. Gets a horrendous lead.
Looking for something.
Leaves the 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 piece of wood on both corners. Going right down the middle. Gets a good 7 fill. So he'll increase his lead to 8. Looking for 2, but only gets 1.
Oh, and somehow keeps the ball on the deck. That gives Rob 75.
Rob looking for a big mark in the 8th. Oh, boy.
Halfway to Worcester.
Attaboy, Jay.
Thank you. I've learned a lot already in show 1
That's
of our
good.
Winter Series.
Well, that's 1.5 Worcesters now. Because
Oh, look
he's
at
done it
this.
3
Look at
times,
this.
the third
And he
time's
makes
a
it
charm.
disappear. Plays it outside.
Beautiful shot.
Wonderful. Well, that's certainly going to put a good amount of pressure on Jeff here. First time bowler on our show. Jeff first had some housekeeping to clean up, but yeah, ideally he's going to want 1 mark, probably looking for 2 to try to stay pace. He's already down 8, and Robbie already put up another mark. Oh, what a great ball in the pocket. Looking for a better leave.
It's getting a little better now. Those 2 pieces of wood are touching DC. He's
Yeah,
got
I
the
think,
4,
I think-
8, and 10. I think he's going to try to split the woods here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's going to try to do.
And he does split the wood, but wow.
That's going to stay.
The 8's going to be wiggling until Tuesday.
That finds the curtain. Had that written down. We'll find it in the curtain.
It's on your cheat sheet, Jay.
Yeah.
Crucial
Yeah.
box here now for Charlton.
Jeff, great ball again. High and flush in the 1-3. Drops 7.
2, 4, 7. I think
piece of
he's
wood.
got sweep wood, though.
Yep. Should sweep it. There
And
it
he does
goes.
sweep it. That's a big time mark.
That's going to keep him, keep Robbie thinking.
I've got it at 7. Is that right, Dave?
Yep. Robbie Pigeon has a 7-pin lead, but they're both on a mark here in this 8th frame.
Oh, big time ball then here.
Absolutely. Right in the line, right in the pocket. Drops 8 in a hurry. Jay, what is it?
That's the 7-10, gentlemen.
I think he has a decent favorable wood in the middle there. He's got a lot to choose from. Oh, I would have probably gone for the sweep on the left. From this angle, anyway. But he chose to go right and try to move everything left.
Still a big count.
Absolutely.
Three pocket again.
Oh, looking for the
Everybody
hammer,
coming
and
to
there it
town. 2-pin falls forward to complete it. And that's 10.
Robbie Pigeon with 5 marks this string. Working on a strike. Working to build his lead. Looking for a double. Looking for the double. Almost gets it. Everything but the 10-pin with a sweet piece of wood out in front. Looking to make this for a 122 game. And he does. Well, that's going to really force Jeff to throw at least 2 marks. He might have to throw a double here.
Long and the short of it, he needs 2 marks.
He's on a mark. Looking for the strike. Looking for the strike, and there it goes.
Absolutely buried and right on time for Jeff Charlton. any mark will do here.
Yep. And
Oh, he's
going
gonna have a beautiful look off the 2 and the 4. And now he's got the 1-8 piece of wood behind the 1.
I'm gonna make it. Oh boy.
Just off to the right, and that is going to do it.
Yep.
Needed that
to
mark.
make that one. So Robbie Pigeon will actually move on with a 122 to 115.
Another terrific finish.
122 to 115, boys. Robbie Pigeon.
So Rob will move on to take on Jason Doucette. So we will be back to talk with our bowlers in just a moment. Gentlemen, don't move. And we're out. Welcome back. We're here with our bowlers from our second match of today's show. First of all, Jeff, hey, tremendous effort for the first time on the show. Going up just a bowler that's on fire, but great effort.
Thank you.
You, at the end there, you hit the spare, then the strike, and you just needed that mark in the 10th frame.
Fortunately, in this game, you can't throw away pins. Cost you the game.
Yeah, you had a couple of frames where the pins just didn't seem to go your way.
Nope.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Thank you. You too.
Well, here you go. Hopefully that will at least cover your gas money back and forth from Maine.
It will.
And hopefully we'll see you again.
You will.
Awesome. Rob, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. So you had a number of marks, but that spare, then the strike there in the 10th just kind of put it away for you.
Yeah, I started out, I got the marks. I was a little tight filling them, and it almost came back to haunt me.
Yeah, absolutely. You had a tough time following them up. A couple of 2 boxes, 2 shots after the spares at the beginning, but then you came back at the end.
Yeah, I got a little bit more comfortable, and I pinned well.
And now you get to advance on to the Elite 8 where you take on Jason Doucette. I'm sure you bowled against Jason before.
I've bowled with Jason a number of times, and he's a very tough opponent.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to that match. So congratulations. Move on. So that'll end up wrapping up this show. He tried to say, unfortunately, not very successful. So that'll do it for this show. We'll see you next time on New England Candlepins. Thanks for watching.
New England Candlepins is made possible through the generous support of the U.S. Candlepin Bowling Association. Learn more at uscandlepin.com. By Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. Visit ryanfamily.com. By your community's public access channel. And by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.